One night after our concert, my friends and I needed to go to the train station and catch the last train back to our little town. I suggested to my friends to take a cab, since it would be a lot faster and we would get there before the last train left the station. However, my friend Aaron suggested to take the subway. He said it was only a 15-minute walk and we would get to this train station quickly. So my friends and I began walking. However, it did not take the 15 minutes that he originally said. It took a lot longer. The walk actually took more than 45 minutes, and by the time we got to the subway, it was already packed. There was no more room left for me. The worst part was, that was the very last subway that was going to be running that night. I left the subway and began walking, and I walked around for a very long time, trying to find a cab that would take me to the train station. Unfortunately, none of the taxis that I found were heading to the train station. As I continued walking, I was beginning to feel frustrated, thinking that I would not catch the train on time. But luckily, a cab stopped. The cab driver asked me if I needed a ride and where I needed to go. I told him that yes, I do need a ride, and that I needed to get to the train station before the very last train left the station. He agreed to take me to the station, and he drove as quickly as he could to make sure that I made my train on time. As he drove, I kept looking at my watch, trying to make sure that I wasn't late. Even though the driver was driving very quickly, I was afraid that I was going to be late for my train. We got to the train station with only 2 minutes to spare, but by that time I found out that the train had already left. I was stuck, and I could not find my way to get home. According to the ticket booth, the next train wasn't until 4 a.m. that morning, so I purchased my ticket and I had nowhere else to go. I felt frustrated, I felt alone, and I felt sad. I nearly broke down and started crying. While I was standing there frustrated, my friend Marcia arrived at the station. She asked me what was wrong, and I told her that I had just missed the last train back to my little town. I also told her that since I missed that train, the next train for my little town would not leave until 4 o'clock the next morning, and that I had no place to go. Marcia asked if I wanted to stay with her and her friends in their hotel room for the night. Since their train was leaving at 8 o'clock the next morning, they didn't mind me staying until 4. So I walked with Marcia and her friends to the hotel that they were staying at, which was only a few blocks away, and I stayed with them until 4 in the morning. When it was around 3:50 in the morning, I woke up and I said my goodbyes to my friends, and then I went to the train station to catch the very first train back to my little town.